Leo, have you ever texted a friend something completely normal, and they replied with a crown emoji?
Only every single time I try to be casual. I once texted my friend, "I shall meet you at the restaurant at 7." He sent back a crown emoji, like I was the king of England.
A crown emoji. You were literally just confirming dinner plans.
I know, and the worst part, I didn't even notice I was being formal. I thought I was being friendly.
That is exactly what I find so fascinating about this topic. Most people who speak formal English in casual situations have absolutely no idea they're doing it.
So you're saying I'm formally oblivious?
Formally oblivious, yes. And here's the thing. It's not about your vocabulary or your grammar. It's about something much deeper than that.
Okay, now I'm curious and slightly offended.
Good. Stay curious. Because I think most English learners have been trained, without realizing it, to speak in a way that is technically correct, but socially stiff.
Stiff. That is a very diplomatic way to say weird.
Let's say formal. And today we're going to dig into exactly why that happens and what you can do about it.
So this is basically a therapy session for my English?
Something like that. Are you ready?
I am prepared and willing to participate. See, I did it again.
You did. Let's fix that. Welcome back to Speak English Podcast, the show where we help you speak English the way it's actually spoken in real life, not just the way it looks in a grammar textbook. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Leo, the guy who texts people like he's writing a royal decree.
Speak English Podcast is your go-to show for natural, conversational English, real talk between two people who genuinely want to help you connect, express yourself, and feel confident speaking English in any situation.
And by the end of today's episode, you're going to understand exactly why your English sounds overly formal in casual conversations, even when you're not trying to be formal at all.
You'll also walk away with real tools, specific phrases, vocabulary shifts, and a completely new way of thinking about how English actually works in everyday life.
So whether you're chatting with friends, texting someone you like, or just trying not to sound like a business email at a birthday party, this episode is for you.
Let's get into it. So, Leo, let me ask you something. Where did you learn most of your English?
School, textbooks, classes where the teacher spoke slowly and used words like henceforth.
Henceforth, perfect. And what did those classes actually teach you?
Correct sentences. Full, complete, grammatically perfect sentences. I would like to request the salt, please.
Right, and that is the core problem. Textbooks teach you written English, but casual conversation is a completely different world.
Different how? Isn't English just English?
Think about it this way. When you write formally in an essay and an email to your boss, you write complete sentences. You avoid contractions. You pick precise, careful vocabulary.
So like, I am unable to attend the meeting instead of I can't make it.
Exactly. In a textbook, I am unable to attend the meeting is perfect. But if a friend texts you that, you'd think something was wrong with them.
I would assume they were either very upset or secretly applying for a job.
And yet that is exactly how many English learners speak in casual situations, because that's the only English they ever practiced.
My English teacher used to mark me down for using contractions in essays, so my brain learned contractions bad, always bad, avoid them forever.
And that habit stuck. Even though contractions in conversation are not only acceptable, they're expected. Not using them is actually what sounds unusual.
So I spent years building the wrong habit for the wrong context.
You built the perfect habit for an exam. The problem is, life is not an exam.
Most of the time.
This is where we need to talk about a concept called register. It's a key idea in linguistics, the study of language.
Register, like a cash register?
A little different. In linguistics, register means the level of formality in your language. It's the mode you choose based on who you're talking to and what situation you're in.
So a formal register for a job interview, an informal register for texting a friend.
Exactly. And the problem for most English learners? They've only ever practiced one register, the formal one, so their brain defaults to it everywhere.
Even at a birthday party, even at a barbecue, even in a text message to their best friend.
Even there.
Okay, Sarah, I need to confess something. Sometimes when I'm speaking English, I'm quietly translating in my head for my first language.
You are translating as you speak.
Yes, and the problem is, in my language, formal and informal words are very different. So when I translate, I don't always know which English word is formal and which one is casual.
That is such a real issue. I call this the translation trap.
The translation trap. That sounds ominous.
It is, a little. When you translate directly from your native language, you're not just transferring words. You're transferring the tone, the structure, the whole formality level. And those don't always have matching equivalents in English.
So I might think I'm being casual, but because of the way I translated it, it comes out sounding stiff.
Exactly. And there's another layer to this. Many languages have different versions of the word you, a formal version and an informal version.
Yes, in my language there are multiple levels. Who you are speaking to completely changes how you say everything.
But in English, you is just you. Formal, informal, boss, friend, stranger, same word.
So in my head, I'm hyper-aware of formality because my language forces me to think about it constantly, and that awareness spills into my English.
That's a great way to put it. And the result is that you default to formal because formal feels safe. Formal feels respectful. Formal feels like you're doing it right.
But it sounds stiff to a native English speaker.
In casual situations, yes. Imagine you're at a barbecue and someone hands you a plate and you say, "I appreciate your generosity in extending this invitation to today's gathering."
As opposed to just, "Thanks for having me."
Same sentiment. One is warm and human. One is a wedding speech.
I have absolutely said the wedding speech version, at a barbecue, in shorts.
We have all been there in some form, Leo. Now let's talk about vocabulary, because this is one of the sneakiest ways formality creeps into your English.
Sneakiest. I like that word.
When learners study English, which words get the most attention?
The big ones, the impressive ones. I spent an entire week once learning furthermore, consequently, in accordance with, henceforth.
All excellent words for an essay, for a report, but in conversation?
Nobody drops henceforth in a WhatsApp group chat.
Nobody. But here's the issue. Because learners practice those are the words that come to mind first when they speak.
It's like the formal word is at the front of the line in my brain because I practiced it 100 times, and the casual word is somewhere in the back, shy and quiet.
That's a beautiful way to describe it. So you say, "I require assistance," instead of "I need help." You say, "I am experiencing difficulty," instead of "I'm struggling."
I said I am experiencing difficulty to my friend last week. My phone stopped working and I texted him that, word for word.
What did he say?
He sent me a screenshot of it with the caption, "Are you okay?"
The concerned screenshot, a classic response to textbook English.
He thought something serious was happening because of how formal it sounded.
And here's the thing about casual vocabulary. It is almost always shorter, simpler, and more direct than the formal version.
Which feels counterintuitive. I worked hard to learn commence, and you're telling me to say start instead.
In casual conversation, yes. Start is warmer, more immediate, more human. Commence belongs at a graduation ceremony.
All those hours memorizing formal vocabulary.
Not wasted. You need that vocabulary. You just need to know when to use it. That's the real skill, not knowing more words, but knowing which word fits which moment.
Right word, right moment. Got it.
Okay, Leo, here's another big one. Sentence structure.
Oh no, this sounds like it's about to get complicated.
It's actually simpler than you think. In formal English, sentences are typically complete, grammatically perfect. Subject, verb, object, the whole thing.
Like, I was wondering whether you might be available to discuss this matter at your earliest convenience.
which is a real sentence that real people send in text messages. What's the casual version?
Hey, free to chat?
3 words, same meaning, completely different energy.
And I counted. The formal version was 18 words.
Casual English uses fragments, contractions, and shortcuts constantly. Got it. No worries. Sounds good. Be right back. These aren't grammatically incorrect. They're just how people actually talk.
But every cell in my brain says, incomplete sentence, wrong, you will lose marks.
That's the school mindset, and it's deeply programmed. In academic writing, fragments are mistakes. In conversation, fragments are completely normal. They're expected.
So I'm basically at war with my own brain every time I try to sound casual.
And the brain usually wins because it goes to what it knows, what it's been rewarded for. Every good grade, every teacher nod, every red pen free essay, it reinforced the formal way.
That is genuinely a little sad.
A tiny bit. But here's the good news. Once you're aware of it, you can start retraining. And awareness is actually the hardest part.
So just knowing this is happening already helps?
It already helps. Because now when you catch yourself about to say, I was wondering if you might, you can stop and say, hey, can I ask you something?
Shorter, warmer, less like a formal letter.
Exactly. Let's talk about something that I think is one of the biggest separators between casual and formal speech, filler words and softeners.
Filler words, like and
Those, yes, but also kind of, sort of, like, I mean, right? Honestly, those small words that weave through casual conversation.
I was literally taught to eliminate every single one of those. My teacher called them lazy speech.
In formal writing, absolutely. In casual speech, they are essential.
How are they essential?
Because they soften what you say, they signal engagement. They make you sound like a real, thinking human being rather than a speech robot. Listen to this. I disagree with your suggestion. Now compare. I kind of see it a little differently,
One is a boardroom presentation, one is a coffee shop conversation.
And in casual English, you want the coffee shop version, not because the boardroom version is wrong, but because the register doesn't match.
So all this time I've been cutting these words out to sound smarter, and I've actually been sounding stiffer?
In casual contexts, yes. Native speakers use filler words constantly. They're a signal that you're present, engaged, and real.
That is painful to hear. A genuinely painful realization.
But a useful one. Start adding kind of, sort of, like, and notice how completely different you sound. It's a tiny change with a huge impact.
Okay, I'm gonna practice. Kind of. Sort of.
You sound like a completely different person already.
A more approachable person.
Exactly. That's the whole point. There's one more thing I want to explore, and it's a little psychological.
Oh, good. I love psychological revelations about my own flaws.
Why do you think people stay formal even in situations where they genuinely want to relax?
Because it feels safe?
Yes, formal English acts like a shield. If you use precise, complete, grammatically correct language, you can't really be wrong. You can't be judged. You're protected.
Because formality looks competent. Even if you feel nervous, formal language makes you seem like you have things under control.
But being casual requires a different kind of confidence. It requires trusting yourself enough to be imprecise, to use contractions, to leave words out, to say sort of instead of being exact.
And when you're not confident in a language, imprecision feels terrifying.
Exactly. What if someone misunderstands? What if you sound uneducated? What if your English is judged? So you compensate by being very formal, very complete, very correct.
And the irony is, the very thing you're doing to protect yourself is making you sound less natural.
That's the trap. The more you try to sound perfect, the less natural you sound. And the less natural you sound, the awkward the conversation feels, for both people.
So the solution is confidence.
Confidence and the right kind of practice. Casual English is a completely learnable skill, just like formal English. It has its own rhythm, its own vocabulary, its own rules. You just haven't been trained in it.
Because the classroom doesn't prepare you for a casual conversation. It prepares you for an exam.
Which is wonderful if someone randomly quizzes you on grammar at a party.
Sadly uncommon.
Sadly. So the practice you need is different. You need to listen to real conversations, watch real people interact, and then try it yourself, even if it feels messy at first.
Messy is how you learn to be natural.
Beautifully said. All right, it's time for Phrase Power, our section where we give you real, usable phrases you can put to work immediately.
And today's phrases are all about sounding more natural, more relaxed, and more like a real person having a real conversation.
Okay, phrase 1. What's up? This is one of the most common casual greetings in English. It doesn't literally mean what is above you. It just means how are you or what's going on.
Example, your friend walks in. You say, hey, what's up? They say, not much, you? Simple, warm, and completely natural.
Simple, warm, and completely natural.
Phrase 2, my bad. This means it's my fault. I made a mistake. Quick, casual, sincere.
You bump into someone in the hallway. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's honest and relaxed.
Much better than, I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience I have caused you.
Much better. Phrase 3, I'm down. This means I agree. I'm interested. I want to do it.
Hey, want to grab coffee? Yeah, I'm down.
Not, yes, I would find that arrangement agreeable.
I've said something close to that multiple times.
Phrase 4, totally. This one means completely, absolutely, or yes, I agree. It's very versatile.
Did you enjoy the film? Totally. Are you tired? Totally. You can use it for almost anything positive.
Phrase 5, no worries. A casual way to say, it's okay, no problem, don't apologize.
Someone says sorry for being 5 minutes late. You say, no worries. Warm, easy, done.
It signals that you're relaxed and you're not holding it against them.
Much better than your tardiness has been noted.
Please never say that. Phrase 6, hang on a second. This means, wait just a moment.
Your phone rings mid-conversation. You say, hang on a second, let me grab this. Natural and polite without being formal.
Phrase 7, I feel you. This means I understand, I empathize, I've been there too.
Someone says, I'm so exhausted. I've been awake since 5. You say, I feel you. Same.
It creates instant connection without needing a long explanation.
2 words, total empathy.
Phrase 8, that's so random. This means unexpected, unrelated, or surprising, usually in a playful way.
You're talking about dinner and your friend suddenly says, I had a dream about dinosaurs last night. You say, that's so random. It's fun, not rude.
Phrase 9, come on. Now, this one is interesting because it has multiple meanings depending on the tone.
Come on, we're going to be late, means hurry up. Come on, that can't be true, means I don't believe you. And come on, you can do it, is encouragement.
Same phrase, 3 different meanings. Context and tone do all the work.
Which is why listening to real English is so important. You need to hear how it actually sounds.
Phrase 10, honestly, used at the start to signal you're about to say something real or sincere.
Honestly, I was really nervous about today. It makes what follows feel open and genuine.
Phrase 11, kind of, sort of. These reduce intensity and soften what you say. Huge in casual English.
Are you hungry? Kind of. Was the movie good? Sort of. The ending was strange.
They make you sound thoughtful and real instead of absolute and stiff.
Phrase 12, it's not a big deal. Used to show you're relaxed, that something isn't serious.
Someone apologizes too much. You say, honestly, it's not a big deal. It's reassuring and warm.
Phrase 13, what do you mean? Super simple casual request for clarification.
Much better than, could you please elaborate on your intended communication?
3 words versus 11, easy choice.
Phrase 14, sounds good. It's a casual, positive confirmation.
Let's meet at 6. Sounds good. Short, positive, done. No need for that arrangement is acceptable to me.
And phrase 15, I'm not going to lie. This sets up an honest or surprising statement.
I'm not gonna lie, I had absolutely no idea what was happening in that meeting. It sounds real. It sounds human.
And people connect with it immediately.
I'm not gonna lie, I wish someone had taught me these years ago.
Better late than never. And now it's time for the word tour, where we take a closer look at the key vocabulary from today's episode.
And the great thing is, every single word we're covering came up naturally in our conversation, so you've already heard them being used in context.
Word 1, register.
Register. You keep using this word. What exactly does it mean in the language context?
In linguistics, register means the level of formality in your language. It's the mode or style you choose based on the situation and who you're talking to.
So, a doctor explaining a diagnosis uses a formal register. The same doctor texting his friends uses an informal register.
Exactly. And the key skill in English, or any language, is knowing which register fits which moment.
And most learners are stuck in formal register all the time.
Because it's the only one they practiced. Word 2, contraction.
In grammar, a contraction is when two words are combined and shortened with an apostrophe, right?
Exactly. I am becomes I'm. Do not becomes don't. They are becomes there. I will becomes I'll.
And avoiding contractions, which many learners do, makes you sound very formal.
In casual conversation, it can actually sound unnatural, like you're reading from a document.
Got it. Word 3, fragment.
A fragment is the sentence that's grammatically incomplete. It's missing a subject or a verb or both.
And in school, fragments are always marked as wrong.
In formal writing, yes, but in casual speech, fragments are everywhere. Got it. Sounds good. No idea. Be right there.
And they're understood because of context.
The missing words are implied. The listener fills them in automatically. Word 4, filler words.
These are the like, I mean words that teachers always say to eliminate.
And in formal writing, yes, eliminate them. But in casual speech, they actually serve a purpose. They signal that you're thinking, you're engaged, you're being real.
Without them, speech sounds stiff and rehearsed.
Exactly. Word 5, softener.
A softener is a word or phrase that makes something less direct or less intense.
Yes. Kind of, sort of, maybe, a little bit. These soften your statements. They make you sound thoughtful rather than blunt.
I'm sort of tired is softer than I am exhausted.
And in casual conversation, softer is usually warmer. It invites the other person in.
Unless you actually are exhausted, then say that.
Context always wins. Word 6, tone.
Tone is the emotional quality behind what you say, how it sounds, not just what the words mean, right?
Exactly. Fine, with a flat voice, and fine, with energy, same word, completely different meaning.
And in casual English, your tone communicates more than your vocabulary.
A relaxed, slightly slower delivery, small pauses, light energy. These signal informality far more than any individual word choice.
Which is why listening to real casual English is so important.
You have to hear the music of it, not just the words. Word 7, empathy.
Empathy is when you genuinely understand and share someone else's feelings.
Right. I feel you is empathetic language. It says, I understand you emotionally, not just logically.
Compare that to I understand your perspective. Same idea, but much more distant.
Empathy in casual English sounds personal and warm. Formal empathy can sometimes sound like a customer service script.
Which, ironically, makes people feel less understood, not more.
Word 8, versatile.
Something versatile can be used in many different ways, right? It's flexible, adaptable.
Yes, and many casual phrases are incredibly versatile. Come on has 3 different meanings depending on tone and context.
Which means it's not enough to just memorize a phrase, you need to understand how it moves.
Perfectly said. Word 9, instinct.
Instinct is when you do something automatically without consciously deciding to.
When you've spoken formal English for years, formality becomes your instinct, your default. You don't choose it, it just comes out.
So changing it isn't just about knowing different words, it's about building new instincts through practice.
Which takes time, but it does happen. Word 10. Default.
Default is when something goes back to its original or automatic setting without any specific input.
Your brain defaults to what it knows best, and for most English learners, that's the formal mode.
But you can reset the default, slowly, by practicing casual English until it starts to feel natural.
That's exactly it. The goal is for casual English to become your new default in casual situations. Automatic, effortless, natural.
And today's episode was a big step toward that.
I think so. Okay, let's bring it home. Today, we talked about why your English sounds formal even in casual conversations.
And the short answer is, it's not your fault. You learned formal English. Your teachers taught formal English. Your textbooks modeled formal English. You simply practiced the wrong register for everyday conversation.
But now you know the difference. You understand register, contractions, vocabulary choices, fragments, filler words, and softeners. You have 15 phrases to practice today.
And you understand that casual English is not lazy English. It's not wrong English. It's a skill, a learnable, practicable, absolutely achievable skill.
Here's your homework. Pick just 3 of today's phrases, whichever felt most natural to you, and use them in a real conversation this week, even once.
And notice when your English sounds formal. Don't judge it, just notice it. Awareness is the very first step.
Start small. Use a contraction where you'd normally say the full form. Say thanks instead of thank you very much. Say totally instead of absolutely correct. One small change at a time, and slowly your natural mode starts to shift.
The goal isn't to sound like a native speaker. The goal is to sound like yourself, more relaxed, more open, more real.
Because the best version of your English is one that lets your actual personality come through. And today, you took a real step toward that. We're proud of you.
Genuinely.
Take care of your English.
And take care of yourself.
This is Sarah.
And this is Leo.
See you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode.